Good evening and welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another episode of Football Manager 2024. We are back with the London Greens and today I can tell you I've put in a lot of work between episodes to try and improve the squad. Well, not improve the squad, but improve the foundations for how the squad is going to improve as we go in to next season and things like that. So what I have done is I've called back Olafsson from his loan because we were not getting any offers in for him, which is slightly annoying. Looks like I've got some offers in, but who are they for? That's not for my player. Offers made for Yates. There we go. And Woodrow and Russell. These are other players. Yeah. So, I think I'm going to have to let him go. He wants to play here. The problem is that we need the money for him. Otherwise, his contract is simply like he won't sign a new contract. So, it's a really odd situation. If I go enter contract discussions with him, he would be a star player. Negotiate their contract. I mean, look at that. It's actually changed. He would be willing to... Wow, okay. Tell me not to waste their time. All right. Okay. So it says I can keep him, but the problem is I'll have to loan him out again, which means at some point, how am I meant to... I don't know. How am I meant to kind of deal with that? We've got offers for Charlie Woodrow. Now let's take a look at his stats. Determination's good. Teamwork and work rate are good. Good physicals as well. Is Charlie Woodrow in my first team? Look at that. Charlie Woodrow is in my first team because of that. Now what I've done is I've got my non-negotiables. If we take a look at the strikers stats, we've got Charlie Woodrow down the bottom here. We've got the striker stats, not the best, but those can be trained. 16 years of age. Those can be trained and trained and trained and trained. The physicals are brilliant and the non-negotiables are good. I've actually got the non-negotiables down to a 7 is now a yellow. So 1 to 6 is a red. The technicals, not so much, but again, they can be trained if we need to. That's not a problem. So we focused on the development here. What would we be focused on? It would probably be on just your finishing, you know. Off the ball would be good. Final third, composure and decision, shooting, finishing, long shots and technique. Finishing at 3 needs to come up. So we'll focus on that. And we'll double that intensity. We'll also give some praise to make sure that he's aware of what's going on. So Charlie Woodrow is a player who's not played for us, but I've moved up into the senior squad because I think if we can boost those stats, he is going to be a really good player. Someone I'm willing to put the time in for. We are going to have to do a massive, and I mean this, massive kind of entire rejig of the squad. It's just what's going to have to happen. I'm willing to give him more of a loyalty bonus. That will take him to 38, as in 2038, which is what we want to do. Assist bonus is good. Get rid of that. Promotion wage rise is good. 500. That's all accepted. Okay, so now we go into our wins again. We've got Olafsson back. If he signs a new contract and we loan him out again, it means we won't lose him at the end of the season. If he keeps playing well, at some point, can we get that work permit? Or do we sell him for the money? I really don't understand. I don't know what the best thing is to do here. Okay, look at that. It wants me to change like a little bit of everything here. Let's go into our team selection. Is Hillier back? Shouldn't really be playing. Still injured but passed the fitness test. That's interesting. I'm going to go with the team I've got. Chadwick should not be out on the right, however. That'll have to be Cooper. But the thing is that Cooper doesn't have the stats I want. Work rate and teamwork are both low. The physicals are good, but we need... I've got to try and stick to my non-negotiables. There is a chance that what I do is I decide that 2 out of 3 non-negotiables is enough. Obviously, that means there isn't room for negotiation, but obviously I've got to try and balance it between this is how I want to play, these are the types of players I want, versus these are the players that are going to get us the results and keep moving up the standings. You know, if you have a striker who scores 30 goals a season, but his teamwork stat is 2, you're not going to be worried about that because you've scored 30 goals that season. And it is trying to strike that balance. It is going to be difficult. We've started very well here. And for the most part, all of these players that we've got on this team, most of these players, they do fit the non-negotiables. A lot of them have strong non-negotiables, which is really, really good. It's what I'm after, because it means the team is playing together to start with. You know, they're going to play to the tactic that we want them to play to, rather than try and do things their own way. And each position, I've built those selection criteria for those. Oh, that's a bad ball. That's cheap. That's a bad ball, and that was cheap from Windsor. Very, very good. We're going to call for a calm down. That was a really long highlight that ended up with us kind of petering out on the attack, because Jones takes a heavy touch there, gets tackled, but then wins it back straight away, and Takeda fires it straight away. Really, really good. You've got to love that. You've got to love that. On we go. 1-0 up. Possession's in our favour. 1 shot, 1 goal. And we're on positive, but I've called for the calm down, because when you score a goal early against the team that we want to beat, this is Windsor. This is a really important game. And all the off the pitch stuff that I'm trying to work out has somewhat slightly distracted me from preparing for this game. But I've picked a team that is going to hopefully work together. Really work together. Howard's given that away. The long shot goes wide. Has this... Oh, we're on extended highlights. I mean, I don't mind that. I don't mind being on extended highlights. Well, look at the possession we are at right now. My word. Great steal there from Howard. Now bring it forward. Bring it forward. Don't lose it. They've gone long out wide. Back they go. Long shot. Deflected. Saved. Well done. This game is actually running really smoothly to my eye. Like, I'm not... Maybe it doesn't look like it for you guys, but it looks really smooth. Like, it's really, like, nice. Deflected and out it goes. Hey, can I speed it up, like, a tiny bit? Yeah, that's sped up a little bit, but really not that much. But every time we try and bring it out, we're just losing the ball. I mean, look at our shape at the minute. That can't be the average positions, because that is all over the place. We are a little bit further back, though, aren't we? Let's step up a bit. I don't like us being this far back, inviting that kind of pressure. No, no, no. Oh, Dakas on a yellow. Of course, stepping up might give the ball away a little bit more, but we're at 70% possession, so it's not really a problem. So long as we are, like, super solid, when we do give the ball away, we don't give it away cheaply. Okay, 1-0. That's going to go out to Abdullah. He's going to claim it. Up the left-hand side he goes. Now, Abdullah is a good player. Has, I think, good non-negotiables and good stats. Not just for a left-back, but also for a left winger. It's really interesting. Howard's a really creative player. Should be able to get the cross in. Does so. Cooper, back post, nods it over. Still, good play. Good play indeed. And off we go again. Takeda whips it in. Into Mason. into Kolodinsky. Across it goes. Mason with the shot. No. Back to Kolodinsky. Back to Abdullah. And we've kind of slowly moved ourselves backwards here. There's the pass. Jones goes, but won't get there. And that's almost a corner. They go long. Abdullah will reclaim. Just keep it calm. I mean, does try and keep it calm. Absolutely sends it. Jones regathers. Up the left we go. Whips it in. Takeda jumps. No, Cooper jumps over the bar again. I mean, that pass map is very odd. What is that about? We expand that. What is that about? I mean, Mason's getting on the ball a lot, but what is going on here? The shape is very odd. Gotta love the shot map appearing over the highlight. That's great. Can we get rid of that, please? There we go. Well out, Melbourne. Well done. Just get to the halftime break. We are literally 20 seconds away. There we go. Okay, dressing room. Second half. Dakas for Glover. Look at that. Glover's non-negotiables are really good. I don't know if Glover goes in there is a good idea or not. I know Melbourne can slot in there quite well. Good tackling. Yeah, okay. Melbourne slots back. Glover goes... Oh no, Mikael Barnes goes in there. Now, I've not really given Barnes much the time of day, but he's a very balanced mental player and is worth a decent amount of money. So, like, while I might be thinking I've got to sell players off, I've got to free up some wages going into next season, that is definitely true. And my shortlist is full of players with very good non-negotiables and very specific stats for their particular positions. So I've got to sell some players and kind of, you got to get rid of the players you don't want, bring in the new players you do want. We've got about a dozen players on trial as at the moment. A lot of them with good non-negotiables, a lot of them with the stats we're after. But it's just going to be a big process of selling players first, getting rid of their wages. And if you can actually sell them rather than just let the contract run out, we'll actually get some transfer fees for it as well, which would be very nice. Even if it's, say, like, I don't know, you get 3,000 or 4,000 for a player who's worth potentially 10, because we're willing to let him go. Cooper, back post, boom, that's it. Haider Abdullah, Abdullah is a really good player. A really strong player that we need to be using. Look at that touch. Left foot, goes forward again. Looks for the cross, takes one extra touch, whips it towards Cooper, back post, who nods it home. Actually, no, volleys it home. Abdullah, the architect for that one. Oh, I can't even check the stats because we're only 2-0 up, but I don't want to say like this is because of the numbers that I'm kind of paying attention to. Cooper from distance. But it does feel like the team is playing very together. Really in control, really kind of doing what I want them to be doing. All the players are on board with the tactic. The only players that you might say like you don't need to have those non-negotiables with are like either, like a star striker, a star creative player who you just let go on the pitch and do whatever he wants to do. That's really dangerous. Takeda. Or, like a goalie who is just so good but can't really affect the team play in the same way. It's the goalie. It's just a star goalie. Maybe you don't even need the non-negotiables with the goalie, but in terms of like squad togetherness, cohesion, and stuff like that, I still want to just use those non-negotiables and build a squad that wants to play together. And we're seeing a really good result here so far. Barnes look for the pass, doesn't look for it, goes on his own up the right-hand side, then finds Cooper, who will probably try and find the cross. He does. Jones jumps, far post won't go. But, I mean, the really annoying thing, actually, is that look at Cooper. Good determination, teamwork and work rate are terrible. But those physicals are so good that he makes up for it, and that's what I mean. A player who is that good, who has played that well for you, if we could try and get those teamwork and those stats up, but he's only 25, so there is a time for it, and I will quickly acknowledge I have gone into the mentoring and made it, okay, well I did make it my own, but it looks like the players have disappeared, so that's not great. I did go in and fix who I thought was going to be good for where, and the way I did it was I put everyone into one, and then whoever had a significant influence stayed, and whoever was getting significant influence out of it, they stayed, and then everyone else moved away. So that the players who need that push, that bonus, are getting it, and the other players who I'm like, okay, they're already at where I need them to be, they're okay. You know, they don't have to be getting that push. This has been one heck of a performance. Like, let's call a spade a spade. We have outplayed Windsor, like, completely. 2-0. Really good play. Dominated possession for most of the game. The team's been really, really well put together. I've literally made one sub. That's a great save. I mean, I could try and waste some time now and get Stefan Clark in. Get Woodrow on for a bit of a quick debut. Next time the ball goes out, which it's gone out now, so we'll make those little subs. That'll waste another 30, 40 seconds or whatever. Woodrow gets his start. I'm so excited. I'm so excited because I finally feel like I've found the balance I want to find between what players are playing so well for us and what players we want to keep and look to the future with. And ultimately, we've just beat Windsor 2-0, and they weren't really in the game. Not really. They had a lot of corners. They also gave away a lot of fouls. Their passing completion rate was just not good. Below 80%, not good. We had all the possession. Our defenders played incredibly well. And our wingers. I mean, just top stuff from the entire team. I mean, I've said it before this season. You've got to enjoy it when it works. Because there's so many times where I'll be like pulling my hair out, trying to figure out what we can do to win a game that we're 2-0 down in. And there's just like nothing I try works. So when it does work and you don't need to change it and the team is doing what you want them to do, you've got to enjoy it. Really. So there we go. 2-0 against top of the table. A really important result for us. Kodak did not play today. It doesn't look like it. Brighton Ropes with a draw. Good. They lose on some points. Burnham, however, get the win, so that's good for them. They kind of get back involved, as does the Reading YMCA trying to get back involved. So yeah, a really good performance. Just brilliant. Yeah, and it's so frustrating because if you do rigidly stick to the non-negotiables, you are going to miss players who might be incredible. And I don't want to do that, you know, so I've got to try and look at things in multiple ways. For example, if I click on our players in range and I edit the search, I've got all these searches that I can use now. The non-negotiables are in there. And then each of these has the non-negotiables with the stats that we're after. But I could lower it to 6, to 5, and be like, okay, there we go. There's a few more options. A lot of them I've already got. Look at that. I've already got a lot of players I want. But Rio Williams, for example, good determination, good teamwork, good work rate. Middle of the park players, got good tackling, but the passing's a bit low. So if we look at the search, I've got passing and strength. Those are the two that I am focused on for that kind of position. We go look at him again. Strength is probably good. Pace is okay. Acceleration's okay. Non-negotiables, really strong, really good. Tackling's good, but the passing's a bit weak. It's not a big deal. You could bring him in. You could try and train him up on passing. If he was, let's say, 21, you'd do that absolutely. You'd train him in. You'd bring him in. But 27, you're not so sure, but you might bring him in anyway. Later, you never know. could still be a very useful player to play in the system that we're after. So now we've got some decisions to make regarding what players stick around. You know, there's so many suggestions. Look at this. Kolodinsky, Ariel. I'm not transfer listing Frith. There is no way. Look at these numbers. Look at these freaking numbers. Determination 15, work rate 12, teamwork 11. Good stats for the position that we need. Just ridiculous behavior to try and get him off. Like, get him off? No, transfer him away. That's ridiculous. Okay. So we've got some decisions to make, and we're going to make those decisions now. So what I need to do is I need to basically move everyone into the senior squad. And I do mean everyone. So that's what I've just done. Now, I'm also going to show you the shortlist real quick, guys. Here is the shortlist. There's a lot of players. We've got 20 players. Some of them are, you know, refusing to come on trial. Some of them are too important to their clubs to be let out on trial. Positionally, you can see most of them midfielders and defenders. Players' interest, no interest, does not fancy it, not bothered at all. Interesting. Interesting. Look at that, just does not fancy it at all. Maybe just doesn't fancy coming down to London. That might be it. So we're going to unpick the team as well, because I can't really have that influencing my squad plans for next season. Okay, this is going to be a long episode. I'll be honest. It's going to be a bit of a long episode. We've currently got 4 goalies, of which only 2 of them cover the non-negotiables. This is what I mean. Because as soon as you add the non-negotiables to other stats that you're looking for, you really do kind of limit yourself. Honestly. So, we're on goalkeepers. We want good non-negotiables, but it's probably less important than agility, reflexes, one-on-one, stuff like that. Nick Withers has got really good stats across the board, and we're seeing that because over the course of this season, he has made 1 mistake and his average rating is just under 7. A really good goalie. Doing really, really well for us. And ultimately, I think even with the non-negotiables, I think I've got to keep him. How many clean sheets has he made? It made 11 out of 37. That's just under a third in the league. I think he's been super solid. Now, I'm going to have to go into the scouting. I'm going to have to go into the players in range. I'm going to have to go and load up the goalkeeper's numbers. And Sam Rihoy is the only one who actually matches those numbers of non-negotiables at what? 6. That's what that's at. That's up that to 7, and suddenly we've got no one. Agility and reflexes with the non-negotiables, we go to match 4 out of 5, and we've got 2. Sam Rihoy and Barry Keneally, 17 years of age. Good teamwork, good determination, good agility. I mean, one-on-ones is a bit low. Vision work rate's a bit low, but again, that could be fixed because he's only 17 years of age. And those technicals could be boosted. Agility reflexes 12 and 8 is pretty good. So we'll offer a trial. Actually, we don't need to offer a trial. We've got the stats we need. You only offer a trial if you don't know that. I think we'll approach to sign. Wants £100, but this is the problem, isn't it? This is the problem. We need to sell players first. I'm going to suggest those deals. Go into the squad and... this is difficult because I don't really want to get rid of any of them. Effie and Jones, those numbers aren't the best, are they? 3 of them in 4. Maybe we could insert another column just to see. Yeah, you know, see, look, they can train. They can train. Kicking's going up, throwing's going up, leadership. Work rate's actually going down, and some of these are going down as well. I think I've got to maybe recall from that loan and work on the training myself. But the wage is nothing. You know, the wage is actually nothing. So 5 goalies across the club. It's not that bad. Ronnie Denny's on 100. Sam Rihoy's on 100. Nick Withers is on 250. It makes sense. I think 5 goalies across the club is actually not the worst thing. Provided, you know, none of them are getting paid absolute money. It's not the worst thing. And then we focus on training what we can train. Okay, let's see. If we click forward, let's see if we get that deal for our 5th goalie. And then we will genuinely just have 5 goalies across the club going into next season because a lot of them are good numbers. Jones is back. Offers being made for Kaminsky, who is a player I'm willing to part with. Charles Thomas. Work rate's good, teamwork's good, determination's low. On 400 a month. Yeah, look, I'm afraid I'm going to have to accept that. I don't think I can justify 400 a month for a player that I ultimately haven't been... Well, not that I haven't noticed, but Hewlett's gone back. Is Hewlett on my shortlist? Because Hewlett should be. Because those are some really... Look at the mental stats. Really strong. Wage demands. What? 5? Are you joking? That's the problem we're also going to face. We need to sell players. So if we look at the active transfers right now, we're trying to bring in 1. And our wage budget's actually kind of lowering. We've got to sell some more players. So that's what we're going to look at next. We're going to go through this and just look at players that I'm willing to get rid of. So we'll look at left backs first. That's how many there are. They do need some decent pace. So anyone with double red on the pace, I'm going to think is... Okay. Stefan Clark. I mean, look at those numbers. Those are brilliant numbers. Stefan Clark, I don't want him going anywhere. 1 determination for Nigel Pierre. 1. I can't have that. That can't be... That can't be acceptable. Ben Smith's numbers aren't the best. Only 17 years of age. Could be trained up. Determination's a bit low. But I think we've got better options. So Ben Smith as well. And I've got to make these decisions. They've got to go. Accept offers. Haider Abdullah is not going anywhere. Look at those freaking numbers. Look at those stats. We can train him in marking and positioning and stuff like that. He's only 23 years of age. He's not going anywhere. Ryan Glover's retiring. That's fine. He's on 400. If he does retire, that's fine. He might, I guess, change his mind. I don't know. But okay, that's left back's done. And I've got a couple of players who I'm looking at and I'm like, those are pretty decent numbers. They don't all have the pace that we're after, but I mean, look at that from Noah Esselman, who can just play across the back line. Just so useful. Just so useful. Okay, now on to right backs. Look at that from Thomas Watson. I mean, those numbers are just incredible. The pace isn't there. That's fine. The numbers are. That's absolutely bonkers. Okay, Sav Mazzoni, I'm sorry. Why can't I... Why can't I... Basically, why can't I sell him? He's not on a lot of money, but it would kind of... You know what? Fine, yeah, look, set for release. Sometimes we're going to do that as well. Alexis Boulet, if we just get that teamwork stat up, that would be very nice. Look, that's what I mean about Luke Frith. Look at those numbers. Ain't no way we're getting rid of him. He's only 29 as well. He's got a good couple of years on him. Adam McKnight, those are pretty decent numbers. 85, only 17 years of age. Yeah, look, we're not selling him. Right back position, we're okay. It looks like. And even then, there'll be a couple of players there that I'm kind of willing to move on. We've got a lot of centre-backs. Look at that, my word. Okay, who's got the low determination? Chris Bryant. Those stats are simply not good enough. Again, not on a lot of money. But those aren't... Pardon me. Those are not the numbers I'm looking for. Dean Yates, I'm trying to get rid of. Charles Thomas, I'm trying to get rid of. You're not even... Marek Kaminsky, same again. Nick Brannigan, a bit slow, but decent stats elsewhere. And you're on 21 a month as well. The determination is just too low. But 2 out of 3 ain't bad. You can stay. Kolodinsky's lovely numbers. Those are great numbers. Oishin Keane, those are... I think that's actually a player I've just brought in. Paying way too much money. So let's try and get rid. Adami's numbers are... They're actually okay. Those are decent numbers. I like that. Yeah, I do like that. And then obviously a lot of players who, like I say, look at Alan Williams, 12, 19, 14. Whew. Brilliant. Weatherly, you're just a bit too slow. And what are you being paid? 85? Yeah, it's not that much, but it's just a bit too slow. Stefan Clark goes nowhere. Billy Curran, again, a bit slow. You're on 85. I'm going to transfer list you. Ruben Mason is, again, a bit slow, but it's just so solid. And then David Holcroft has really good stats. We just got to try and boost up some of those technicals. Marking, positioning, crossing. Oh, there's some fullbacks. Dang it. I'm on the wrong one. There we go. There we go. That's a little bit different. But Ruben Mason, look at that from Ruben Mason. That's why he's so solid. Kolodinsky, look at those numbers. So good. Thomas is just too slow, so I'm having to kind of let him go. Holcroft is quick. That's why he sticks around. Okay, defensive midfielders now. Again, there's a lot of them. We're going to mark it by... Oh, there's actually not that many, but look, so many of them have the mentals that we're after. So no one's getting judged on their non-negotiables here. They might be getting judged on pace, because that is pretty bad. But those numbers are so even across the board for Dean Yates. And this is DM, don't remember. This is defensive midfielders, so... Omar Dakas is actually not a good DM. Not someone to be using for that. Todd Parker is a better DM than we're using him at the minute. And he's 34. That's a problem as well. He's on 100. It's not... it's just... How do I do this? How do I decide? There's a lot of players who can play there. There's just so many players. It's genuinely a little bit kind of scary how many players can play in these positions. So if we're looking at straight up players who can play in DM, Thomas Watson, that is... I mean, those numbers are great and you're a really good defender. But very slow. 30 years of age, very slow. Dean Yates is the same. So well balanced, but very slow. So like in defense... How are you going to be that useful? I don't know. We mark it on tackling. You can see Melbourne, Parker, really good players, really slow. Yeah, I think we might have to sell Omar Dakas. If we can get good money for him, that would not be a problem. I mean, look at it. Olafson's numbers are outrageous. Can Olafson play? Without the work permit? Is this like... Well, now that he's willing to renew, he's worth 65,000. That's the problem. I don't understand. Yeah, it confuses me, this whole situation. It does. Dean Yates, slow but really good across the board. Okay, now on to creative midfielders. Sort by position again. I mean, look at the numbers. Just so many numbers. So, oh no, this isn't creative. This is strong players. So Sam Reski, yeah, no. Martin Howard, you're not a strong player. Doyle, youngster. I mean, all those youngsters, like, they can go down, can't they, to that. Let's just quickly unfilter this. Like, I'm really making it needlessly complicated. No, you see, that's the problem. That's actually the problem. By moving them down there, I just kind of like undo what I'm trying to do. I'm going to jump to strikers here, because there's a lot of strikers. So, Taggart, again, just the age is an important thing, because if we can train them to improve, then we should. We shouldn't just bin them off. Kai Andrews has really good stats. But we could sell him for good money. So I'm going to do it. I'm going to see if we can sell him for good money. Takeda sticks around because he's got another contract, even though, again, he's worth a lot more. McLaughlin we just brought in isn't really worth much. And we're not paying him a lot. Smalley's worth a decent amount. Could be, we got to keep him for the future. Lewis Jackson is a different kind of player. This is probably controversial. I'm going to get rid of Lewis Jackson because we're paying him a lot. If we can get some money out of that before the end of the season, that would be nice. But we are paying him a lot of money. Ronnie, the same situation, to be honest. Same situation. I feel bad about it because I know these are players I brought in very recently. Charlie Woodrow's in there with not the best stats on these ones, but we will figure that out. We will train him up. That's no problem. He's only 17. We will train him up. Okay, now on to the wingers. Okay, look, I mean, some of these are really good numbers. Ryan Glover retiring, so we don't have to pay attention to him so much. Okay. These are our left wingers in the club. Sprawley's got decent numbers. Dawson Quigley does not. So off you go. And we all getting paid 100. So yep, off you go. Joe Fraser. Yeah, you're on 90. Yeah, I can't really justify that. Off you go. Dave McDade has been really good since he joined, so not getting rid of that. Pardew's got a lovely... Oh, just improve there, Pardew. Only 16. Improve... Oh. If Pardew could improve on those numbers there, which will come down to mentoring, that'd be very good. Okay, right wingers. Oh, there's more left wingers up here. Whoa, Maxwell Tomu has the stats we are after. Look at that. Wow. Andre Charles, not so much. And he's being paid 85. You know, we've got to lower this wage bill. When we look at the wages. Highest wages, Alfie Bangs. 31 years of age. Worth a little bit. You know what? Yeah. I'm going to let Alfie Bangs go. Because that is too much of the wage bill. And if we can sell him and make a little bit of money from him, that would be good. Okay. I think I may have missed a couple of positions, but Bryant's gone. That's fine. We didn't really... Let's just quickly fix this one up for a team bonding. Okay. We've got 6 days until the North Greenford match. It does. Oh, West Ham win the Carabao Cup. No way. That is an unlikely event. I'll be honest. We were a good team, you know, a couple of seasons ago. Maybe I'd believe that could be the case, but less so now. We're struggling now. Okay, transfer offers are coming in. Here we go. Here we go. So this is what we need. We need to free up some wages. We need to be able to sign new players if and where. Here we go. There's some offers. Transfers we go. So, how many offers we got here? Wow, loads for Keane. Let's go. Let's accept that. Not worth... Yeah, okay. Not actually going to get any money from that. Joe Fraser. Again, being paid 90 is decent physicals, but again, we're going to accept that. We're going to see, because our wage budget is now at negative 897. We need to bring that down. And every time we sell a player, if players do get released, that number's going to come down. It's going to free up wages for next season. And now I'm starting to like half question whether releasing Alfie Bangs is the right... letting him go is the right thing. I'm not quite sure. We need to make those mentoring groups as well. I need to remake that. Okay, 27 on the inbox. Is there a way I can, like, stop the amount of these coming through? Filters. Media. There we go. That's better. Okay. Offers coming in for Keane. Just accept and hopefully he'll join one of them. Kaminsky again. That's a player we don't have. And Reski again. Okay. Because I just don't need that amount of media every time. Is it going to do this every time? This is the problem, isn't it? Decision will be made tomorrow. I'm going to guess it's not going to happen. No, it's still not tomorrow. It's still the 24th. That's why. Yep, still nothing there for me. Just click through this then. Okay. Oh, dang it. Oh, I'm not sure. That's fine. We can let players go if they go, like, on trial. I can't really... There's a lot of trials finishing, but that's fine because that'll just give me... That's all information. That's information that I need. Okay, transfer offers for Keane and Reski again. Okay. Honestly, I just need these to hurry up. All this, like, media information. Oh, of course it's rejected. Why? So can I, like, see the actual numbers? And did it just cost us 20k to... Oh, it's so frustrating. Here's a player I want. He's a star player. He's a really good player. I'm not willing to part with him. But I'm going to have to. Am I going to have to? No, I don't know. I'm going to complete that renewal. So he is going to stick around for another year as we try and work out. Okay, Keneally is signed in. Olafsson signed that new deal and is actually worth even more now because of that. Obviously, we can play him to the end of the year, but that work permit is... that work permit's going to be tough. It's going to be something we have to deal with. FA Cup matches. Wow, there's a couple of... It's a fifth round. Couple of potential giant killings in there. And we've still got one more match to play, as that we're getting into like mad... Bristol Rovers have knocked out Liverpool. Wow. Okay. Giant killings indeed. And here's something that I've just kind of thought about, which is if we get to a point where, okay, I'm happy with the squad, and now that we've got actual contracts that last like years or potential years, that's good from Hillier. Yeah, okay, I'm going to ask the assistant to assign those real quick. We'll deal with that later. What I could do is I could potentially go up to 3 games an episode again, knowing the games will be like a little bit faster. And because I know I've got a solid squad and I know how I want them to play, and we can kind of build those tactics around it, I won't have to chop and change the squad so much as I've had to do in the last however many seasons. Potentially. Hopefully. I don't remember Value DA being our best ever clean sheets, because that's incorrect. That's part of the reload I had to do. So frustrating. Semu Chukwu, midfielder. That's odd, isn't it? That's a midfielder. Where is he? There he is. So not good at that one. How is he on the defensive? Not so good on that one either. And that's gonna be a transfer list, just again to free up some wages. So I don't want to accept the loan offers. I want actual transfer offers for that one. Okay, 1 day away from the next game. Hewlett's gone. No. Wage of only 700. Okay, well look, that duration of that contract is nothing. So Hewlett's still on the short list. Kaminsky is going, but it doesn't feel great, but the determination is low. So yes, while that could be, you know, a signing we can still look at him at a later date. You know what? I just put him on the shortlist for now. But it might be a player we remove at some point. I wish you could kind of filter out these shortlists a little bit more. Yeah, this episode's all over the place. It's really like a moving day episode where I'm really trying to plan for the future while also thinking about the current results that we need. So yeah, it's a difficult one. Okay, onwards. It is time for the last game of the episode. 2 games in this episode. More or less, it would make sense to play a similar team from last time out, but I do think maybe I want to rotate a bit. I don't know. We just need to win. We just need to make sure we put in a good performance and get a good result. That's a lot of media again, like just so much media rubbish. Need to respond to those transfer offers. So let's do that real quick. What is it? Who have we got? Brannigan out on loan. Brannigan's a player I think I was willing to keep around. So that's one I will accept. And then you've got Chukwu, offer made. There we go. So that's not a loan. But then these other ones need to hurry up. We're at negative just under 700 now. So we are getting those numbers back. Okay, I'm willing to see what this team is. Chadwick Hillier, Olafsson back. Thomas Boulay, Withers, Takeda, Glover, Ephraim. I mean, that seems like a relatively strong team. Obviously, I might want Cooper out on the right, and I also might want Luke Frith at the back on the right as well, but that's okay. Olafsson is just like a next level player. So we can play him for the end of the season. Of course, when his work permit runs out, we'll have to loan him out again or whatever. But he's just too good a player for me to say, like, yeah, no, we're going to get rid of him just for the money. Like, Ben Horn was not going to re-sign. So we had to get rid of him. But Olafsson is a player we want to keep around, so... There he is. Wow, we are high up the pitch to start here. Let's see if it stays that way. Not really. Possession's dropped a bit. Takeda with the free kick goes to Ephraim, who shoots it, and Yakubu makes a save. I'm surprised Takeda didn't go for the shot there. He tends to. He likes to go for the shot. So that is a curious one. Takeda's just got fouled. A possession stat still at 44, jumps to 45. So we'll just lower that directness a little bit, try and keep the ball a little bit more. Especially when you've got a player of Olafsson's caliber in the middle of the park running things. Takeda shoots it just wide. Just wide. And there we go. There's the jump we were looking for. The possession stat to go back up to 50. And theoretically, it should start to tick up as our kind of quality starts to show a little bit more. Mason's done well there. Oh, that's a great ball. Shoots it himself, and then Glover tries to get the ball in. We've got a couple of players who are anxious at the back. See if the no pressure tries to get rid of that. No, it's actually overwhelmed by the feedback. I say there's no... Oh, we've got a penalty. Glover whips it in. Lovely work. Okay, Ryan Glover scores the penalty. Ryan Glover retiring. I know we can ask him not to. He does cover a lot of positions and is obviously a really good player for us, but is it... I think we need to kind of look for the squad for next season and the season after that, rather than kind of just try and bring a player who we signed for his kind of like super usefulness and his good has the stats we want and his versatility. But I think his time's kind of come and gone. Yeah, Ephraim goes up the right, which is good. It's exactly what he should be doing. But the cross is a little bit floaty, a little bit easy. Oh, wow. Thomas got paced. Wow. Thomas got paced. Absolutely run past. Three. That is why he has to go. That is why we can't play him. He just got absolutely burned to get to that ball. And what's been a pretty solid first half, with the 1-0 through a penalty, we're now 1-1. And that is why we're going to part ways with Thomas. Okay, 1-0 at half time. I'll make that change now. Kolodinsky for Thomas is like a no-brainer, honestly. Cooper on the right as well. He's playing so well. Get him on. What a Mason. What an interception that is. And we rock back on control of the ball. Here we go. Boulay looking forward. There's a pass. Takeda inside. Shoots it from distance. Well over the bar. And two changes made. Cooper goes out on the right. Kolodinsky slots in for Thomas at the back. Let's take a look at those average positions. It's kind of easy to... What the heck? Let's engage a little bit higher up. We're not going to step the defensive line up, but we are going to engage a little bit higher up. Windsor took the lead and then a minute later conceded. It's very London Greens of them. Kodak are winning because of course they are. Takeda with the shot off the bar. Chadwick empty net. Oh no, it was Abdullah. I thought Chadwick got it. It was Abdullah. Oh no, it's offside. He's been offside running after the free kick. Abdullah whips it in from distance. Kolodinsky jumps, won't go. Cooper regathers. He's got to look for a forward pass here. Boulay, Olafsson, Mason. Mason goes a little bit on his own and then just absolutely rockets it. And what a sight it is to see. Olafsson back on the pitch for London Greens. We loaned him out. He's re-signed. Obviously, the work permit problem is still there. But he's such a good player. At the end of this season, it might be the kind of the boost we need, bringing him back into the team at this time. I think it could be incredibly useful. Cooper goes on his own, still going out to Abdullah. Back to Olafsson, into Mason. Mason, the goal scorer, don't forget. Kolodinsky, back to Mason. Forward, Cooper's there. Shoots it. Yakubu saves it. And I think that's a throw-in. Yeah, it is. Bottom of the screen. So, Takeda with the long throw. Looks like, yeah, tries to. Doesn't have the best long throw. Glover shoots it. Kolodinsky falls. Shoots it. Corner ball. This is really good play from the boys. So I'm actually going to drop a praise here. Because they've been in control of this game for the last like 10-20 minutes or so. Yakubu makes another save. And I want to see green across the bottom. And there he goes. A lot of green faces. Happy with the feedback. And they should be. Takeda back out to Abdullah. Into the middle. No. End of highlight. But look at that second half. The number of shots has rocketed. And the XG as well. If we can see... Oh, Windsor are winning. Dang it. Would be helpful if they could drop some points. Obviously, the XG is higher because of the word. Because of the word. The penalty, there we go. I'm just calling for a demand more at the end of this because I don't want us to lose our heads And drop a goal. David chasing it. Boulay, keep him there. Norman. Across the cap. Shoots it. Whoa. Very close. Very close. Okay. Okay, just under 4 minutes to go. It's just all added time. Takeda shoots it. He does. Boom. Tomonori Takeda is a quality striker, and he once again shows that with a really good finish. And you know what? Woodrow's not on the bench, so as much as I'd love to bring him on, I can't. But we do have Kai Andrews on the bench, so let's let him play before we try and sell him off. Two minutes to go, 2 goals up. Takeda really does kind of kill the game off there with that really useful goal. Now it's just defend this one, and we take 6 points from an episode. I don't remember the last time we actually did that, unless my memory is failing me. But 6 points, and especially taking 3 off of Windsor, was very important. Very, very good. And Olafsson has rejoined the ranks. And we take a 3-1 win away from home. Everyone should be happy with that one. And I'm very happy with that result. And of course, this episode has been a super long episode again. Maybe even next season I go down to one game per episode. And I release an episode every day. Or something like that. Every other day, or just if I can record that day, I will, or something. If I can't, then I won't. And then the next day I can, I will do it again. You know, I don't need to be so pressured on the structure, as I am always saying. But that is a great result. We are building a little bit of a gap to those teams behind us, but still 7 points away from catching up with Windsor and Kodak, who are the teams above us. But we are a good team. We are showing that we are a good team. Olafsson makes debut. It's not his debut. He's played loads of times. This is what I mean about this. The game is messing me up sometimes. We, of course, have lost some money, but our overall balance is absolutely fine. Trying to keep an eye on that is, again, very useful. We got 6 days before the Corinthians match. We've got some trials to finish. And how many transfers? What? For Abdullah. Abdullah is not for sale. Yeah. There we go. Reject everything. Abdullah is not for sale. Maxwell Tomu can go out on loan. That's fine. He looks like a really useful player. All of this is ridiculous. Mentoring month in review. That's good. That's not good. That's good. Okay, this is what I'm going to guess we were talking about with... Why so many offers? No. Not letting the assistant pick the groups because we're going to get some negative traits developing as well. It's something I'm going to have to be aware of. I want to sell him. I need Yates to go. Get out of here. I want to try and see if I can make some money. Trial's coming to an end. Yeah, that's fine. There will be players in there where I'm like, yep, we're going to try and grab you. Other players were like, nope, probably not. Obviously, some players have been looked at by other teams as well. Takeda gets his goal bonus, which is nice. That's absolutely perfectly fair. I'm happy with that. He's obviously re-signed for another year, which is just brilliant. Because that means he'll be scoring goals next season as well, which is what we're after. So yeah, there we go, guys. We're going to end it there today. An hour and 10. Wow. And yeah, I've got to make some decisions. I've got to make some decisions as we progress. Overall, B- and a C. Squad dynamics are looking good. Alfred Bangs, obviously, I'm trying to sell. That player. He's taking up 1,000 per month and is not really, justifying that with on-field performances at the minute. So that's fine. Thanks for watching, guys. Until next time.